handiwork, amen, how he formed, amen, things from nothing, the dust of the earth. And I can understand why God formed man out of dust, because he formed, amen, earth and everything else out of the dust. And the elements that was floating around in space.
Amen.
Just put all those things in one form, and he's so powerful, he was able to speak to the dust and tell the dust to multiply, and then explode, and when you explode, and make it multiply again and again and again. And it goes down to, trickling down to the heavens, and then down to the earth, where it says, amen, to us that we should be fruitful and multiply. And the thing about when the multiplication took place, amen, up in space, it all took place through an explosion. And when you look at, man, I'm going to speak this in a little bit of adult terms, because I want to go over the head of the young one here, is that, amen, when there is a relationship between two married couples, amen, those of you two, amen, bring forth that seed, amen, there is an explosion, amen, that creates, amen, that seed. And what the Lord did was in the heavens, amen, he created explosions that caused all these planets, amen, to multiply.
Man, that's right.
And what caused the explosion was the impact of one connecting with the other. Amen. So I thank God, amen, for, amen, his magnitude of creation, amen, and bringing all that even to pass in our lives. So my thought again this morning is how, amen, nobody like him, amen. So when we go to the book of Exodus, we look at, amen, Moses going before Pharaoh. And Moses, amen, was dealing with a situation which we all know the story, how he wanted to get the people of God that were in bondage for over 430 years to finally be free. And Moses wanted to decide, okay, Lord, since you called me, I would take on this position and I would take on this job. And on many occasions, God gives us, amen, a word to go do, but we say, Lord, I don't want to take this job. I don't want to take on this position because it's a fight, amen.
Amen, that's right.
Because it's a responsibility and it's a requirement, Lord, and then it is the expectation of you, of me, Lord. So I really don't want to do this. And Moses also didn't want to do the work, man. He fought it. He talked about not going, and Lord began to say, Lord, you got to go. And then Moses said, but I can't go because I can't do this and I can't do that. And that sounds so much like us as the people of God, Lord.
Yes, amen.
How can I do such a work when I don't have no idea what I'm doing?
Amen.
I have no direction. I have no education. I have no experience.
That's right.
Most of all, I don't have no skills or talent, Lord.
Amen.
And then, Lord, most of all, on top of it, I have no people with me to make this thing come to pass.
Yes.
But there's something about when God puts things in place, amen, puts things in order. And that's why he said, where there's 2 or 3 gathered in my name,
amen,
I will be in the midst.
That's right.
See, God don't need a crowd, amen, and God don't need no righteous.
That's right.
He's fire all by himself,
All
amen.
by.
And on many occasions, man, we're looking for help from this one and looking for assistance from that one. But how many times we say the Lord has already provided, amen, care for us?
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
There's always a ram in the bush when God is involved, amen. On so many occasions, we're looking, amen, for the lion. So many occasions, we're looking for, amen, the big animal that's going to deliver us. But God looks at rams in the bush, amen.
Amen.
And because the lamb is just something meek and hollow and something that's just, amen, mellow, amen, something that we don't anticipate or expect, amen. But we are the lambs in the bush, amen. We're the ones that's in the ticket, and God is using us for his glory.
Amen.
We are the sacrifice that's going to bring a deliverance. And all we got to do is continue to strive in God's direction, amen. So now Moses is in the position where now he got to go before Pharaoh. And the Lord said, well, I want Pharaoh to recognize that there's nobody like me. He said, I'm going to do something that he's never seen before. He's the king of Egypt. He's been doing a whole lot of wild stuff. And they got all of my people doing things that they've never done before. Stuff that made them become a slave in bondage to his will. He said, but I want him to recognize who I am. Says, I'm going to do something that's going to make him remember me for the rest of his life.
Amen.
So I'm going to bring several plagues upon him and all of his people and all of the land. You know all the story. Now he did this, that, and the other frogs. The last plague was he brought death unto the city. And even with that, amen, before that, amen, there was the hardness of Pharaoh's heart. And many occasions, amen, we're dealing with situations where people have such a hardness in their heart that no matter what you do or say, it just don't affect them, amen. We're preaching and teaching, y'all are testifying and telling folk about the goodness of the Lord, and there's such a hardening of the heart that nobody want to hear what the Spirit says in the church. So many times God got to bring a spirit of death upon the city, amen, for them to recognize that he is who he is.
Yes, God.
So bringing death upon the city, man, even Pharaoh's own son. Pharaoh began to recognize that there is a power greater than I. Amen.
Yeah.
And that's why you know the story of Moses. Everybody got out of the city, but when the Lord had to make it known to Pharaoh that there's none like me. Amen. And after all that, Moses went to the desert with all these crazy people. They did all that little dumb stuff, and they still didn't recognize that God is who He is. Amen.
That's right.
Knowing that there's no one like Him. Amen. So then after what the Lord said, you know what, it's all right. I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to remove those folk that don't need to be here. I'm going to bring in those that should be here.
That's right.
Put everybody in place and put things in order. And eventually they walked into the promised land with Joshua. But then we get to David, amen, who is the apple of God's own eye. We get to the power. We get to the praise. We get to the anointed cherubim. And that's why David begins to say in the 139th reading of Psalms, the Lord, search me.
Amen.
Say, look at my mind, look at my body, look at my heart, look at my soul.
Yeah.
There's things in me that need to come out.
Jesus.
I want to walk around. I want to do the right thing, Lord, because there's no one like you, Lord. And I want you to do something for me, Jesus.
Yes,
so he
God.
gets down to verse 14. He said, Lord, I am wonderfully and fearfully made.
Yes.
Lord, you did this, Lord. You made me what I am. And
Yeah.
because of who you are, I am what I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm in your image, Lord. You made me from the dust of the earth, but
Yeah.
you made me in the form and in the shape of your image, Lord. And
Yeah.
I think like you. I walk like you. I talk like you, Lord. I want to act like